Hey, it's Jules, and today I'm going to show you guys all the books I've purchased since the last book haul I posted, which was back in summer if you guys remember. So it's been a long time, so I have tons to show you guys. So the first two books I'm going to show you guys are actually kind of old now, but when I first got them, they were brand new and just released. So the first book I'm going to show you guys is Isla and the Happily Ever After by Stephanie Perkins. I actually got a signed copy because I pre-ordered it with my local bookstore. So I read this book back in August, I think is when it was released, and I absolutely adored it. I love this series so much. It's my favorite contemporary series. What was different with Isla than Anna and Lola was the love story basically started earlier than the end of the book. I love this book a lot. I love the entire series a ton. I felt like Stephanie Perkins closed the series in a beautiful way. I'm just upset that my other two copies are paperbacks and this is a hardcover. So the next book I have to show you guys that came out a couple months ago is In the Afterlife by Alexandra Bracken. I pre-ordered this book before it was released and I got it a week early, but at the time that I got it I hadn't finished Never Fade yet. I've since finished Never Fade, but I still haven't picked up In the Afterlife, and it's a really weird reason why I haven't picked it up yet, but I kind of don't want this series to end. I've done this with a couple of other books. I have a problem with finishing off series that I love so much because I don't want to see them go. I love the books and I love the characters and I just don't want this series to end. Can't let it go. So a couple months ago, Toronto had their own version of BEA and BookCon, and it was called Inspire, and a bunch of cool authors came. Only a couple YA authors came, but there was this really cool panel called I Don't Give a Damsel, which was about writing strong female characters. And there were some really awesome authors on the panel, including Gail Foreman and E. Lockhart. You could get your book signed by them, but you had to purchase a book because they had this weird route thing where you had to get a bracelet, and I don't know, it was very confusing, but two of my favorite authors in the same place. I'm obviously gonna buy two of their books that I don't own yet. So the first book I have to show you guys is Just One Day by Gail Foreman. So I picked up Just One Day and got into the signing line and Gail signed it, and it was really a cool experience. There were a lot of people, but she took time to talk and take pictures and sign my book, and it was just such a great experience. I loved it so much. So another author that was on the panel is another one of my favorite authors, E. Lockhart, who wrote We Were Liars. We Were Liars was the best standalone I read last year. I picked up The Boyfriend List because I've heard good things about it, and she signed it. And in my copy of We Were Liars, she wrote like, P.S. Don't eat yellow snow, and it just was so funny. So another YA author who came to Inspire was Maggie Stiefvater, who wrote The Raven Boys, and I haven't read this book yet, but I bought it so I could have her sign it. I also got Blue Lily Lily Blue, which is the third book in this series. They didn't have the second one, which was kind of a bummer because I was gonna buy both, but I got both of these signed and I'm still missing the second one. So two books I picked up are Across the Universe and A Million Suns by Beth Revis, and I know that the third book is gonna have a cover change, but these books are just so beautiful I couldn't pass them up. So the next book I'm gonna show you guys is Afterworlds by Scott Westerfeld, and I love this book so much. I bought it because he had a signing in Toronto. I decided to go after school and wait for 2 hours, or it was 3 hours, or some crazy amount of time waiting for him. I even tweeted at him saying that I was there super early and I was the first one. I felt crazy, but you know, I bought the book while I was there and I started reading it as I was waiting. It looks so pretty underneath. I love this whole black and white business. And also the cover, I didn't understand it until I started reading the book, and then it all made sense and it was all beautiful and I just loved it a lot. So it's a book within a book, if you haven't heard. So it has Darcy's story as well as the book that she's writing, which is called Afterworlds. The two together, I thought I wasn't gonna like, but I loved it. So the next books I have to show you guys are Red Rising and Golden Sun by Pierce Brown, and there's so much hype around these books, it's ridiculous. I haven't read either of them yet. I've been meaning to read Red Rising for the longest time. I really want to whip through this series because I've heard so many good things and I don't want to get spoiled. I've heard just amazing things about the series, so I can't wait to start it. So the next book I have to show you guys is The Testing by Joelle Charbonneau, and I've seen this book around a lot. I don't know, it just looked really interesting to me, and it's a series, I think. I don't know how many books are in it, but it's shiny. Shiny covers are what get me, really. Though I can't wait to read it. So the next book I have to show you guys is Teased by Amanda Maciel. I don't hear many people talking about this book, but I was really intrigued when I heard about it. So the book, from what I believe, is about a girl who was bullied to the point of suicide, and it's told through the bully's perspective, which I found really interesting. Also shiny cover. So the next book I have to show you guys is 40 Things I Want to Tell You by Alice Quippers, and I don't know anything about this book. I found a signed copy in my local bookstore, so I decided to pick it up. And also the cover is really pretty. I saw it, decided to pick it up, and I'm gonna read it soon. The next book I have to show you guys is Throne of Glass by Sarah J. Maas, and I know so many of you love this book, so I decided to pick it up because I've heard so many amazing things about it, and the hype is like through the roof, so I decided to pick it up because it was time for me to give it a shot. The next book I'm going to show you guys is Shadow and Bone by Leigh Bardugo, and again, everybody loves this book. I've heard nothing but amazing things, so I saw this at the same time I saw Throne of Glass and decided to pick the two up together. I'm not a huge fantasy person. I'm trying to get more into the world of fantasy, so I thought picking up these two books would be a good idea because everybody loves them and they have such great reviews. So I thought it would be a great place to start. The next book I'm going to show you guys is 4 by Veronica Roth, and again, such a hyped book. Everybody loves the Divergent series, especially me. And the next book is The Spectacular Now by Tim Tharp. I haven't heard much about this book, but a lot of people have it, even though they haven't talked about it a lot. But I'm actually kind of excited for it. I needed more contemporaries. So when I saw the book, I decided to pick it up before I saw the movie. And also, I love Shailene Woodley and Miles Teller, and they're on the cover, and they're in the movie, so. Next, I have Unite Me by Tahereh Mafi, which is Destroy Me and Fracture Me, which are the two novellas in the Shatter Me trilogy, bound together into one beautiful book. I'm currently reading Shatter Me and I really like it, so I decided to pick this book up. I picked it up like last week, and I can't wait to read it as I read through the series because I really do love novellas. I wish authors wrote them more. I can't wait to read this because I like the story already, so I know I'm gonna like the world and everything that comes into play with it. And why am I doing this? I don't know, but it's cool. The next book I have to show you guys is Ready Player One by Ernest Cline, and I've heard so many good things about this book. Literally everybody likes it. I'm excited to read this because of the hype, and it sounds really interesting. So yeah. The next book I have to show you guys is We Should Hang Out Sometime by Josh Sundquist, and I am a huge fan of Josh on YouTube. He is so inspirational and so funny, and his videos are like 3 minutes long normally, but they are so jam-packed with awesome stuff, and his Halloween costumes are the best things ever. So when I found out he was writing a new book, I decided to pick it up because I wanted to know all of the stories that he keeps talking about on his channel. So I pre-ordered this book the day that he announced it on his channel. Did you know this is his handwriting? He has a font of his handwriting. Cool, right? I know. So the next book I'm going to show you guys is Falling Into Place by Amy Zhang. I don't know much about this book. I just know that it was really popular and it was always on the popular pile of books that are at the front of the bookstore. Do you know what I'm talking about? It was always like right in front with all the popular books. So I decided to pick it up because I kept seeing it. And when a book is always right in my face, I have to pick it up after I've seen it like the 12th time. So that's what I did. And I can't wait to read it. The next book I have to show you guys is I'll Give You the Sun by Jandy Nelson. And this book is so hyped and everybody loves it, and I kind of can't wait to read it. I love the cover. But guys, orange! It's orange! I like really vibrant things in books like this because just plain black is so boring. Why not have colors? I never read books with a dust jacket on, so I like books that have like color underneath. And the next book I have to show you guys is Prodigy by Marie Lu, which is the sequel to Legend. I saw this copy, it was the only hardcover, and it was a first edition. Like, you can't see, but like, look at, can you see these edges? Like, do you see that? First edition. So I had to pick this up because I couldn't just let someone else take it. I had to have it. The next book I have to show you guys is The Duff by Cody Keplinger, and I picked this book up because I really wanted to read it before I saw the movie. Even though I've been wanting to read it for a while before the movie was released, I never had a chance to pick it up, but then I did, and I have to say that this book was really good, and I really, really enjoyed it. There's so much more to this book than what meets the eye. So if you have a chance to pick up The Duff, I strongly urge you to, because this is probably the best book I read so far this year, and it was one of the easiest 5 stars I've ever given to a book. The next book I have to show you guys is This Shattered World by Amy Kaufman and Megan Spooner. It's the sequel to These Broken Stars, which I read last month. It's a really interesting setting, being in outer space, so I can't wait to jump back into this universe and continue reading the series. So the next book I have to show you guys is Fairest by Marissa Meyer, which is part of the Lunar Chronicles, but not one of like the 4 main stories. So the Lunar Chronicles was my favorite series of last year, pretty much, and I can't wait to read this book. I pre-ordered it before it was released, and then there was a bit of a mix-up, so it kind of got delayed and delayed and delayed, but then I finally got it with I Was Here by Gail Forman. I can't wait to crack both of these open. can't wait to read these. The next book I have to show you guys is Miss Mayhem by Rachel Hawkins, which is the sequel to Rebel Belle, and I am so excited to read this book. This book just got to me today, and I literally cannot wait to read it. It's really weird. It's not supposed to be released for like another week and a half or something like that. I guess there was another mix-up. I don't know, but I guess they got their shipment early, and so they sent it to me, and I literally cannot wait to read this book. Another book I have to show you guys is Vanishing Girls by Lauren Oliver, which I've heard is like a kind of YA version of Gone Girl. I can't wait to read this because the cover is so pretty and the book just sounds really interesting, and I've heard great things about it so far, so I can't wait to read it. So the next two books I have to show you guys are Control and Catalyst by Lydia Kang. Catalyst is actually out today. Today is its release day. I read Control at the beginning of this month, and I fell in love with this story. Overall, it was such a fun read, and I just didn't want it to end really, so I'm excited that Catalyst is out now and I can read it and get back into the story. I can't wait. I'm just gonna start reading it right after I'm done Shatter Me. A review of these books will be posted on my channel soon, so look out for that. So those are all the books I have to show you guys for today. Thank you so much for watching. My name's Jules, this is my channel, and I hope you have a fantastic day.